shock winners last week against the Bears.
And he gets a pass away. It'll go all the way with Darren Smith. He gets it down.
The Bulldogs are pumped. The Tigers desperate to grab their last chance of the semis.
Gets the ball away from McVeigh. McVeigh strides into an open space. Gets it away. They won't catch Timmy Brasher.
It's Friday night football. It's Friday crunch time at Leichhardt Oval.
Are you ready for a Friday night party? Friday night football party? We're ready! Gonna have a good time tonight. Friday night football, take it high on night. Come on, baby, we can't go wrong. Friday night football all season long. Kicking off the weekends ever been so fine. Yeah! No one comes and gets it to you quite like night. The double G's on the field and we turned off the lights. All my rowdy friends are here on Friday night. Everything's gonna be right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Friday night football gonna play all night.
Balmain, Canterbury on the wide world of sports.
We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Hello and welcome to Friday Night Football from Leichhardt Oval between Balmain and Canterbury. This is sudden death time for these fellows. It's almost like a grand final if they're to make it to the semi-finals. With his thoughts on the game, here's Ray Warren.
Yes, Ken, that's right. A match of grand final proportions with Balmain on 16, Canterbury on 15. Mathematically, it's possible to make it, but obviously both of them will not squeeze into the top 5. Balmain come into the game, Paul Vautin, on losses behind Gold Coast and, of course, Western Suburbs, but their performance last Friday had a lot to like about it.
I think their performance against Western Suburbs was outstanding in the defensive department. They made nearly 300 tackles. I think tonight we'll see how they can attack the football.
Well, Ellery, this is your first sight of your old club Balmain in Winfield Cup football.
Yeah, that's right. But I think one of the things with Balmain is that with a loss last week against Western Suburbs, I think it'll gel the side closer together and they know that they can't afford for another loss.
A game that we really have been waiting for, Balmain versus Canterbury. One of them's going to drop out of the final 5 race, that's for sure tonight, Ken.
Thanks, Ray. Well, with me is Steve Roach. Steve, how do you see the two packs lining up?
Well, the Balmain pack certainly looks the strongest, and Balmain have got a big chance to go forge their way into the semi-final with a good win tonight.
Bit more creativity up front?
Well, I certainly think so. With Benny Elias leading the way in the forwards, I think it'll be a Balmain win.
But they'll need to play well.
They'll need to, yeah, but I'm sure they can do it.
OK, Block, I look forward to your comments throughout the game. Right now, let's join Ray Warren.
So there they are, the Tigers going down onto Leichhardt Oval for, we've already described it, a grand final of a battle. Only one of these two can survive, and Balmain would take the field knowing that they haven't beaten Canterbury since the first round in 1990. Let's have a look at their side. Gary Jack, Clint Robinson on one wing, Brasher the other, Baysari McCann the centres, Davis and Robinson the halves, Munro back of the scrum, Elias and Siren in second row, Edmed McVie front row, Benny Elias is the hooker, coached by Alan Jones. Canterbury Bankstown. They came from behind with a tremendous win over North Sydney last weekend. Ewan McGrady fullback, Doolan and Williams the wings, Jason McGrady and McCracken is back in the centres tonight. Lamb and Poller mounted the halves, Reid in the lock, Gillies Maguire second row, Cassell and Brokenshire in the front row, Ben Gillies is the hooker, and Chris Anderson is the coach of the Bulldogs in 1992. And what a year it's proving to be in this race for the 5. Continued good form for that man, Tim Brasher. Could well see him on his way to Wembley for the World Cup final. He certainly must be on the short list of 22 players asked for by Bob Fulton. Ewan McGrady figures in a tremendous fullback duel tonight against the veteran Gary Jack. And they're both in sparkling form. This man, the Rothmans medalist, and considered to be one of the best attacking fullbacks in the game, Gary Jack these days, looked upon as probably the best defensive fullback still in the game. Graham Annesley has got the whistle. A fairly disappointing crowd on a cold night at Leichhardt. Very little breeze blowing. Paul Vautin, Ellery Hanley and Steve Roach join me in commentary as we get underway with our Friday night party of rugby league. Gary Jack asking Paul Siranen to take it back. And Canterbury surge in. Annesley's found a high tackle.
Yes, already we've seen Mark Brokenshire. Ciro took the ball back up, and big bad Mark Brokenshire put one right around his head, down low, and Brokenshire right over the top, the swinging arm, trying to assert some authority early.
First round of the Winfield Cup this year was at Belmore between these two sides, and you might remember that Canterbury got away to a really good start. And Balmain, they were always playing catch-ups. In fact, I think Steve Roach played at that game, did you not?
I certainly did.
Ewan McGrady coming back. What do they have to do to win tonight, Steve?
Well, it's certainly, you can see just right from the outset that the semi-finals is right on the board for both sides with that high tackle from Brokenshire, but Balmain just had to command it round the rucks with blokes like Siren and Edmed and Benny Elias.
Ewan McGrady taking the kick for line.
That was real smart pressure from Benny Elias there. Just turned around the pressure from what Canterbury was putting on them and just raked the ball right down into the 25-yard area of the Canterbury side.
Rake for in the play the ball by Ben Elias. He had it and then he gave it back to them. Doolan brought down. Just outside the 22 mark. Lamb away now. Making it ahead is Cassell. Brokenshire. Siranen was waiting for him. Got a good memory. Sound of the whistle. Little knock on in there. Scrum will go down midway between the 22 and the halfway. Canterbury's end of the ground. Balmain. Attacking opportunity comes their way. Robinson. Fired away for Siranen at first receiver, now for Davis. There comes the ball. Canterbury players didn't realise it, but Davis hadn't had the ball for quite some time.
A few mistakes early in this match from both sides, the ball popping out on a couple of occasions. Davis here takes the ball up and just loses in the tackle. Did go backwards, but it's scrum put down that Canterbury attack.
Now McCracken running onto the ball strongly. He's got plenty to give back to Canterbury. He's had too much time on the benches. He knows that. Reardon tackled on the halfway. Little jostle up between